Lightning like Steve McQueen. I'm in the fast lane when the light turns green. And I built tough, I ain't nothing but grit. Cause I made rugged blood, sweat, and spit. Yeah, like a horse I fly. Better push yourself in for a bumpy ride. I like to play hard, but I work harder. And I weather the storm cause I'm built stronger.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. We are live. It is the Freight Coach Morning Show, the top morning show in transportation, coming to you guys every single weekday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central, to break down some industry headlines and, most importantly, provide some actual fucking insight into what you can do with all of this information. If this is your first time tuning into everything, all of my content, welcome. This is the real side of freight. There is no theory here, you guys. This is brought to you by transportation professionals for transportation professionals. Nobody who comes on my stuff couldn't point out what a fifth wheel was on a truck. We'll put it that way for you. Normally, clearly, the Freight Coach Roadshow continues. I'm still in Dallas, Texas, flying back tomorrow night, but I'll be doing the Roadshow here again, and then we will be, back in the studio on Monday where I can just get back behind Old Glory and live my American dream and help each and every one of you guys live your American dream as well. Before we jump into today's show, as always, you guys give a shout out to my friends over at VHub, vhubapp.com. Doesn't matter if you're a broker, carrier, or shipper alike, we all need access to trailers. You know, and especially right now for all you fleets out there with, I don't need to remind you how high diesel is and repair costs and everything else are. This is a way where if your trailer's in the shop, you don't have to shut your operation down. And the best part about it is you get paid to do this. And that's always a good thing. Everybody loves to make that money. So what they're working on right now, you guys, is they have Paragould, Arkansas to Delta, British Columbia. You get paid $18.50 to move that trailer. That's on top of the revenue that you can get by loading that thing out. And then they also have San Diego, California going up to Millbury, Ohio, and you get $600 to do that. Again, you guys, that's on top of the revenue that you can get by loading that trailer out. So hit them up, vhubapp.com. My friends Xavier Campos and Stacy Steen, they'll be in the audience. They're also members of the Orange Shirt Gang, as each and every one of you guys are as well. Sorry, my camera is a little off there. I got to make sure you guys can see the curvature of this backwards hat out there. I do have a very special guest for you guys. You guys he was just on here a couple of days ago, but you know what? The strongest man in freight has to return because you guys need to see his face more than you want to see mine. And look what he's rocking today. Look at that Now that's what's up right there. He's got the Freight Coach hat on.
Gang.
Freight Coach.
gang.
My man, what's good, bud?
Dude, just making it through. Finally back in the gym after my meet, which is awesome, and actually getting ready to head to Cincinnati here tomorrow night. So,
dude, I love it. Are you going for another competition or what?
I'm not competing. I'm just I'm staff. I'm spotting. So, good friend of mine. She's pound for pound the greatest powerlifter of all time. Laura Phelps puts on 2 meets a year, the Cincinnati Women's Pro-Am, and then her North of the Border meet. North of the Border is this weekend, and so I'm flying to Cincinnati. I spot, make sure everybody stays safe, and get to see my Cincy fam.
Oh, I love it. Man.
It's a good time.
Well, hey, I got to give some shout outs here. We got Whitney Young out there. What's up? Another day in paradise. Whitney Young's making it happen behind the wheel. Caroline Lyle, what's going on? Good morning.
LFG.
Let's go. You're all right. Stace, let's fucking go. Good morning to you. Erica Hamilton, good morning. April Moore, good morning. Good fucking morning. Excuse me. GFM, LFG. We're just a team of acronyms over here. Aaron, good fucking morning.
No pronouns, just acronyms.
Exactly. No pronouns, just acronyms. And yes, she is right. Phoenix, Arizona is the freight capital of North America. It's not Freight Alley. It's not Chicago. It's Phoenix,
Hot
Arizona.
take.
100%. Good morning, Whitney Fowler. Let's fucking go. You are right. Hey, I miss DC as well, Caroline. It was a great time out there at the NMFTA conference.
Same, man. That's home. That's home, baby. I missed that.
Bob, what's up? Good morning. Raquel, what's up? Good to see you out there, Raquel. Yeah, man. I don't know if you heard that, but Phoenix, Arizona is the freight capital of North America.
Interesting. Listen, hot take on that one.
Hot take. I stand by what I said. I didn't stutter.
Fine. I believe I said what I said.
Whatever the fuck you. I mean, potato, whatever the hell you want to call it.
I'm going to politely disagree, but I see you.
Yeah, you know where I'm going with this. There's the Freight Alley is actually Freight Valley, which is Phoenix. It's not Freight Alley. Freight Alley's done. It's Freight Valley, Phoenix, Arizona.
So in Chicago, are we the Freight Plains?
You can call it whatever the hell you want, man. Sure. It's just not Arizona.
It's fucking cold is what it is.
Exactly. I'm going to be wearing shorts Friday night. What about you, bud?
I mean, dude, You know I'm built for the heat, so
Okay, I know
or
you
built for
are.
the cold. I'm sorry,
Bad,
like
bad
so
example.
I'll wear
Bad
shorts no matter what, man.
example.
Good Midwesterner like that.
It's because you're a specimen. That's why.
I mean, you got to show these calves off, man.
Yeah, dude. So we're up to day 159 of the Freight Coach Tally. That is the 159th live show, and it's also the 159th reminder to everybody that we have some core fundamental issues in this industry that we need to fix. We got to stop focusing on the symptoms. Like our drivers shouldn't have to question if they can take a shower somewhere or if they can get access to food and everything. And, one of the articles that we're going to be breaking down today, I'm really excited about this. I was actually very, very pumped up after I read this thing that's coming out here for our drivers. This is also just a subtle reminder, and I'm sorry for all of Whitney Young. I'm going to be honest. This one's kind of for you because you're filling up out there. National average of diesel is still $5.31 a gallon. Sorry, please don't tell me to fuck myself, drivers. I apologize. I'm just reporting it. We should turn
don't shoot the messenger.
I know we should turn the pipeline back on or something. It's really weird. Anyways, into our first article here. It's going to be actually on fuel. And this is another one that I was excited about. This is from fleetowner.com, you guys. It's performance-based driver incentives help fleets save $2 million in fuel costs. It's highly unlikely diesel prices will get back to under normal levels anytime soon. Again, please don't shoot the messenger. Even under normal circumstances, fuel will always remain as a top operational expense for fleets. Regardless of the current economic climate, Arter Express, they have saved nearly $2 million in just fuel costs over this past year. The carrier, through driver buy-in and training, has implemented a performance-based points program that tracks certain drivers' behaviors and habits that directly impact fuel economy. Drivers earn points, the more the better, that are tied to how much more money they have paid. They are paid by the mile. The highest earners, typically run 8,000 miles a month with an average of 8 miles per gallon or better for the company's drop and hook operations. They also have about 90% on time deliveries and 100% completion of pre and post trip inspections and maintain zero violations. When the carrier decided to implement the program back in 2019, the company's average fuel average was 6.9 miles per gallon. And now there are 3 years into the program with a recently developed fleet relations team. The fleet is averaging 7.7 miles per gallon and has managed to save $2 million in the last 12 months. Like, that's insane.
That's a real number, man. Like that is nothing to take a stick at. I know a lot of like smaller organizations say, "Oh, we've got 10 trucks, we have 20." Ours is obviously a larger fleet, so you have the economies of scale. But I mean, ultimately, like that, those little things, and when you walk through that list of, basically what you're doing is you're talking about these are professional drivers being professional and planning their day.
Yeah.
Like, and not to say others do not, but this is truly what it takes to make that happen every single day.
Yeah, I mean, because it goes on out here and it says, we found that over the past year, we saved 4 cents per mile. So that the platinum drivers are the ones who are at the top level. And it's about $20,000 worth of savings per truck per year. Adding that 44 company drivers currently operate in platinum status. If all of Arter's 350 drivers reach that, it would be a cost savings of almost $4.2 million. And that's what's insane, because you're right. Like, it doesn't matter. It's like, you got to look at that. Like, so say, you're talking about insurance costs that are constantly going up, or repairs. Like, it's using this information, I think, and this is what people need to look into applying. Again, I'm not a fan of government mandated speed limiters on trucks, because
anything
or anything. But like I talked about yesterday, the speed limit should be the fucking mandate out there. Like it's kind of posted. But I think it is taking this information. It's like, look at what a company of Arter's size, 350 trucks, has been able to accomplish with this. And then you take that fuel savings right now. Think about how much faster you could pay off the note on your truck, or how much more cash reserves you could have for that rainy day. Because that's what it is. It's like, you got to look at, where can you save money? We can't control fuel prices. All right. That is out of our control. Unless the price goes down, then somebody can take credit for that. Anyways, topic for another day. But I think, from my perspective, though, what we need to look at here is how can you take this additional cash and reinvest it back into your company? All right. Maybe this is, I mean, how many trucks is that right there? You got to figure $150,000, $200,000 for a brand new truck right there. Like, that's like 15 new trucks paid for in cash just off of fuel savings.
Yep. And if you're take it down to a much smaller scale, if you're a one-person operation, you have an extra 20 grand available to you now. what does that do? It does to your cash flow, does to your peace of mind. Think of this, how different your experience as a professional driver is, knowing that that savings is yours.
Yeah, it is. For me, that's what it is, because they did the per truck basis was $20,000. What
Yeah.
could an additional 20 grand do right now for your business, or hell, just yourself in pay with,
And that's hard savings on your fuel. It's not even including, you mentioned already the insurance costs. When you look at, how you're being underwritten, it's based on your performance. And when you look at these different things, you're looking at zero violations, you're looking at, properly doing pre and post trip inspections, all these different things. This helps with your insurance underwriting. It also helps with your maintenance, because you're more on top of everything. So all these things start to kind of snowball. And so that 20,000 is the jump off. Not even this is what you could attain.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you, man. Because I think you think about it, it's like they're talking about the 100% pre-trip and post-trip inspections done. What you can identify with that saves in your downtime, and then your preventative maintenance is key. Like, again, I use this as an example because my dad drove for 40 years. He owned his own company for 40 years, and that was his big thing, was preventative maintenance. That's what kept him running. Now, like, that doesn't mean that your truck's going to run perfect every single time, because shit breaks down, but maintaining your equipment, paying attention to that, like when your tires are getting below a certain level, replacing them with more, because dude, there's tires out there that can literally improve your fuel efficiency on your semi right now. And then here's the big thing, and this is the controversial thing, and I know we just touched on it. It's not coming from the government here, but it's lowering their speeds from 70 to 68 miles an hour is a huge savings. And then if you can take it from 68 to 65, it's another huge savings. Again, nobody likes to do this, but if you're operating a business right now, what can you do to put more money back in your pocket? Because this is what's going to help you through this market. There's a lot of uncertainty. I personally think, again, I'm not freight coach Adamus or anything like that. I don't think it's going to get better anytime soon. So it's like, what can we do now in the short term? And most importantly, when you take these skills and in this business plan, when it flips back in your favor, because it'll come back around. People are going to start making a lot of money again. You continue to operate in this manner. How much more money are you going to make when the times are good then? And that's what you need to focus on. It's a business here. What can you do today to put more money in your pocket so you can live your American dream, so you don't have to go fucking drive for a fleet? Because I'm just going out on a limb here. That's why a lot of people go out and strike out and go for it on their own, because they don't want to fucking work for anybody else. So how can we apply this today so you can stay in business here and then come out on the other side of this fucking running full speed?
Exactly. Control, in times of uncertainty, control what you can control. You have control over all these elements.
No, exactly. And shit, I mean, if this is something where, because again, obviously it goes on and talks about the maintenance and the life and how all of that improves the life cycle of the vehicle and everything else. This is one of the better articles that I've read in a while, because it actually gives those examples out there, and it broke it down to the one truck level for people to use. And that one's from fleetowner.com, you guys. It's performance-based driver incentives, helps a fleet save $2 million in fuel costs. And again, it's good to see out there. And I love that they broke it down to the singular truck level, because that's what the majority of the drivers on the road are. And looking at that, just again, if you can lower your speed from 70 to 68 miles an hour, what that can do to you. I mean, 20 grand's 20 grand. That's a lot of fucking money. That's a lot of money out there.
I find on the ground, I'm fighting you for it.
Yeah, exactly. David K, morning. Let's fucking go. Love it. All right. Next article. Let's go to this one that I'm really excited about. I want to talk about this. This is from FreightWaves. And it is transport executives pool funds to launch Roadside Healthcare Network.
This is so sick. Pun intended.
No, exactly. Yeah, pun intended. Dad joke.
Yes.
A dozen executives, most from the transport industry, have pooled personal funds to form a company that will build a healthcare network with facilities located in or adjacent to truck stops along the interstate highway system. Interstate Health System said in a document and review that it plans to open to 40 to 60 locations over the next 2 years. And the company, which was launched about 8 months ago, wants to build more than 300 locations, which is fantastic. Interstate Health Systems facilitates will serve fleet and owner-operator truck drivers, motorists, and underserved communities living nearby, the Nashville, Tennessee company said. And then the locations will mostly be in rural areas and in regions beyond traditional suburbs. The investors, which is in what is known as a pre-seed, is funding round include Rob Estes. He's the CEO of Estes Express. Jet McCandles. He's the founder of P44. Chad Eichelberger, who's the president of Reliance Partners Insurance Company. Love those guys. Perry Mandera, chairman and CEO of Custom Companies. Bruce Campbell, former chairman and CEO of Forward Air. Brad Pinchunk, CEO of Hirschbach. And Bob Peterson, chairman and CEO of Melton Truck Lines. And John Larkin, who's an operating partner in private equity firm Clarendon Capital. This is exciting.
It's awesome. It's been tried once, and that's actually gone over in the article as well. Kind of some missteps that happened previously, but the concept is sound, the backing is sound, and as this begins to take hold and you start incorporating it into insurance networks, this is huge. When you look at our driver population, they are, as a general statement, not the healthiest people on the planet, and as much work as people are doing, like Dr. Mark Manera, who's doing his trucker fitness, and now it's more expanded to everybody within the supply chain space. All these things are great, but at the end of the day, you still, like, the preventative will help. You still got to have some on-demand type of maintenance, for the individual, not just the vehicle, and giving them access to people that can do health screenings, that can do their DOT physicals, all these different things. I know there's a lot that will go into these facilities, but this is a game changer for a lot of drivers.
No, absolutely. And, and I like how they're, because no truck stop out there offers anything like this. It says in the article, but they're looking to actively work with truck stops out there to fix this. And, because, it says that they'll be designed to provide primary and urgent care with users able to book appointments out there. And then nurse practitioners who can access the service of physicians via online will make up the staff in an effort to ensure continuity of care. Each facility can obtain users' medical records. This means the driver who has services rendered in one city can have follow-up care for the same issue in another city without having to start the process over.
Huge, absolutely huge.
100%, man. And this is what it's stuff like this, though. Again, and I talk about this frequently. If we want this industry to change, we have to be the change as an industry. Like, that entire roster of investors are all longstanding transportation professionals. Yep. This is where it needs to come from. These core fundamental issues of this industry will only be resolved by trucking professionals. No one's coming to save us. There is no cavalry. If we want this industry to improve, if we want to attract more talent in here, we have to be at the forefront of this. And I personally love this. As somebody whose father was a truck driver and everything else, and who he did neglect his health for a lot of his life, this, who knows if what this would have changed. And I think that's the thing, is it's like when you're talking about, what Dr. Mark Manera is doing with the fitness aspect of things as well, is it's like, I think if the resources are out there and the facilities are out there, people would use it. I would think, absolutely. Again, I would hope anyways, that if, say, a brand of truck stops put fitness facilities inside of the truck stops, would driver health improve? I would argue that it would, because there's no excuse then. Like, I think if it's there and it's readily available, people would do it.
Absolutely. And it comes down to, for so long, it simply wasn't available. There is certainly an education piece as well. Like, the general population needs to know how do you fitness. And so many professional drivers have to do this as well. But by giving access to the facilities, giving access to that education, and making it so drivers can, much like a traditional employment situation, you can continue care across wherever you're going. If you and I get sick, we can still continue doing our work, depending on where we are and how sick we are. You get injured, same thing with a driver. Think about this from a workers' comp perspective as well. Somebody gets hurt, they can't get a full clearance to return to work because they have to receive care on the road, and they can't do that. This potentially opens up to a lot of really interesting applications where drivers can continue to work, and even work maybe part-time essentially as a driver while coming back from injury or coming back from work comp situations. So I think it's exciting. I think it's a great way for people to continue to maintain their lifestyle and really start to make the professional driving platform a little more attractive to younger drivers as we continue to work through bringing younger people into the driving space.
Dare we say make trucking great again? I think we do. Yeah,
Should.
that article was from FreightWaves, you guys, and it is Transport Executives Pool Funds to Launch Roadside Health Network for Drivers. And as always, you guys, with that article and every article I break down here, I put the links to them all on the Freight Coach YouTube channel, as well as the Coffee with the Freight Coach audio-only replay of this, which is available on iTunes and Spotify. Again, I want you guys to get out there and research on your own and read a bunch of this on your own. And if you're going to be over there, if you want to, do your boy a solid. Subscribe while you're there. Rank the show while you're there. It helps. It helps with the algorithms. I'll say it. I'm not afraid. But that's why.
Dude, leave a review. Tell them it's great. Tell them it's shit. Either one.
Exactly. Tell him that Robert Bain has the second sexiest voice in freight next to mine because, let's be honest, I don't have the beard game that he does.
It's pretty solid. The beard game is solid.
That's right, Raquel. Make trucking great again. That's
Her and John are so great. I love them.
I know. Raquel's great. Check out her book too, you guys. Connect with her. She wrote a book here earlier this year. You got to show her some love.
And you got to listen to her podcast too. She interviews professional drivers all over. It's awesome.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Get out there, you guys. Hit up Raquel on LinkedIn, connect with her and follow her. All right. Last article we're going to break down today on this beautiful Thursday, also from FreightWaves. Why trucking fleets are expanding amid a freight slowdown. New equipment galore. Right on time for a trucking bloodbath? ? Shane Ferris started his trucking company in 2013 with one truck. Today, Ferris fleet, called Green Miles, has about 25 power units. And as a freight recession looms, it is not the best market for small fleets, which mostly hauls frozen or refrigerated meat. Ferris wants to get to 40 trucks by next year. There's one limitation. Everyone wants more rigs too. This week, Ferris learned that the 15 trucks he had ordered in the spring won't be delivered this year. At best, he might get 7 of those trucks next year. There just aren't any production slots left. His hope is that other fleets that ordered trucks cancel their orders. Unfortunately, cancellations are minuscule, said Eric Crawford, a senior analyst for ACT Research. Fleets are desperate for trucks after manufacturing supply crunches. That's slowly changing. The last 3 months, manufacturers have delivered 81,000 trucks to fleets, up 30% from the same period last year. We have so much pent-up demand, Crawford said. The industry has been severely undersupplied. That might be surprising given spooky headlines of a freight recession as well as a macroeconomic recession. Trucking insiders have warned our very own FreightWaves that a bloodbath, trucking winter, or great purge of small fleets is coming upon us. It's not just us. It's like Bloomberg.
Are they wishing a winter of death and despair on us?
Yeah, it sounds like it is. Wishing a winter of death and despair. Drive-in rates. Let me see. And then even if a macro recession, it's only anticipated to be short and shallow. That's out there. And then, so let me see. While pay for trucking services have declined in the spot market, again, I've gone into that in depth about what will happen. And again, this is why I need Jamie from Joe Rogan, because I have predicted what every headline will read throughout next year, and just wait and see. I'm not going to get into it today because we're limited on time, but I got receipts, motherfuckers, on what it's going to be.
I got receipts.
I got receipts. And as always, I save all my fucking recordings so nobody can alter anything. So fucking bring it. Let me see. Experts says that most of the capacity is going to large fleets and everything. Again, so here we are, Robert.
Mm-hmm.
You've been in this industry just as long as I have, 15 years.
Yep.
Where do we go with this information?
So it's interesting, right? You look at the last couple of cycles we've had when it comes to freight and freight demand. 2018 was craziness, right?
Yeah.
So you had 17 into 18, and then we had 19. We hit this recession, and people were canceling truck orders and all that. And then 2020 hits, and the whole world turns upside down, and everybody's clamoring to get more trucks. So it feels like to me that maybe people are finally learning the lesson that during these down times is when you bolster your fleet. It's when you make sure you've got the extra vehicles. Certainly you do the things that you can to mitigate costs with your active vehicles, but you start getting ready for this so that when the swing comes back for additional demand and interest rates go down and money becomes a little more free flowing, you're prepared versus reacting. So I want to believe that. Now, is it actually what's happening? I'm not sure, but I want to believe. I want to believe in trucking.
Yeah. To me, it is obviously I'm never going to sit up here and say that things aren't challenging. But the fact of the matter is no matter what the media headlines read, go for it. All right. In business, don't fucking stop because of what a headline reads out there, because frankly, they're not financially invested into your business like you are. And frankly, they don't give a fuck if you're in business or not. Let's call it what it is. Most media sources out there don't care, because, and frankly, in a sense, they shouldn't, because that's your business.
They care about their business, which is media and headlines and scaring people to read their shit.
Yeah. And you need to look at this very simply. You need to make educated decisions based on your business. Now, if you're going to reinvent, there's never a good time, all right, in business. Like, there's never a time where you can look out there and be like, oh, today's the perfect day for all of this. You just need to be decisive, and you need to fucking make it work. Like, there is going to be a lot of stories that probably won't get reported on, but there will be a lot of stories of people who fucking doubled and tripled their business during this quote unquote recession, freight recession, whatever the fuck you want to put it out there, you guys, because it's very simple. Winners fucking win. It doesn't matter what market is. It doesn't matter what the fuck's going on in the world. Winners will find a fucking way to win. All right.
Always.
And no matter what, yeah, you might not be able to get the 15 trucks that you ordered, brand new trucks that you ordered this year. And that's okay. But what can you do? What can you do to stay in business? How can you stay on path? Control what you can control. All right. We just broke down, is every fleet's biggest expense, which is fuel. All right. We just broke down a way that you can put more money back in your business's pocket at this time. And so I think that no matter what goes on out there, no matter what the industry headlines are, or what headlines are out there, you have a decision to make. Who's going to be on the other who's going to be on the other side of this? Are you going to win, or is your competition going to win? It's just like in freight brokerage. You have to fucking minimize all the noise that's out there, because that's what it is when it boils down to. It's a lot of noise. It doesn't affect you. Somebody else's business and decisions does not affect your business. All right. You can control your business. All right. There are very real factors that happen out there. Like, don't go out there and be fucking reckless about stuff. You need to be very calculated in this, but don't let somebody else's opinion on what they think you should do affect how you actually operate. Look at, again, success leaves clues. What did Knight Swift do last year? They liquidated trucks when the market was high, right? Mm-hmm. Guess what they're going to be doing now? Buying in bulk. All right. So success leaves clues, you guys. If you don't have the capital to do that, I understand. But look at what some of these larger, like, you guys, no matter what, a lot of these large companies might get a bad rap for whatever reason. That's irrelevant. You don't mistakenly become $1 billion company. All right. It doesn't happen by accident.
Nope.
All right. So the fact of the matter,
especially in this industry. Yeah.
And that's exactly it. Is the fact of the matter is you guys, is you can fucking make it through this market shift. All right. You can make it through this downturn, whatever the hell they're going to call it, the recession, or, made up inflation. Apparently inflation's a made up word, or however they want to spin it. You have an opportunity to come through on the other side of this stronger. You have an opportunity to come through winning, because most people are going to fucking quit. All right. That's just the reality. Most people are going to, unfortunately, some people are going to read this headline and they're going to be like, you know what? I'm going to give up. And that sucks, but that's that person's decision that they made. Don't fucking give up. All right. That's my biggest piece of advice to anybody as we're going. Figure out a way to make it work. Don't fucking let some article sway you from going after what you want in life. All right. You have to fucking go for it, no matter what.
I think as we wrap up here, Chris, good friend of mine, he was on a podcast recently. His name's Dave Hoff. Dave Hoff's universally regarded as the greatest powerlifter of all time. This man does things that no human can possibly do. He makes me look like your average gym bro. And he talked about this very quick clip is everyone knows what it takes to win. Every person here listening right now, and is going to listen to this later, you know what it takes to win, but you're just not doing it yet.
Yep.
And that can be a punch in the gut to some people. That can be the wake up to some others. But ultimately, you know what it's going to take. It's the hard things. It's the little things. It's the things that are not sexy. They're not fun. They're not the one everybody talks about. But those are the things that are a difference maker. We talked about it already when it comes to fuel. We talked about it when it comes to customer experience on some other shows. All these things, you know what it takes to win.
Yep.
Do the hard things and make it work.
Amen to that. Well, that's it for today, you guys. We're going to end on a high note. My man Robert's got shit going on. He's a busy guy, just like we all are. If you saw value in any of this, you guys, as always, share the show. That's all I can ask at the end of the day. I would love for you guys to go out and talk to all my advertisers and say that I brought you there. Wink, wink. But at the end of the day, you guys, share the show, because if you guys see value in it, your network's going to see value in it as well. That's it for today. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and we'll be talking to you guys soon.